MTB podcast Brain Trust. Love the pod. Been listening since before y'all started hosting it. I have to say y'all's version is more entertaining for sure and has generally more applicable information, but the other guys had good info too. Here's my question. I recently bought a Stump Jumper Comp Alloy 15 and I'm already trying to figure out how to travel with it. I know a lot of people use the Evoc bag. My issue with that is that it's pricey and it won't hold my whole bike while staying under 50 pounds. Plus, it seems like you need to pack a bunch of pool noodles around it. I'm willing to bite the bullet if it's the best way for safety and cost, but I'm interested in other options. What do y'all use? What do you like and not like? Do you have other suggestions? Thanks, gents. Congrats on the new studio. Keep up the great content. Well, it's funny you ask.
This is the question. This is the question of questions right here.
It is.
Yeah.
We
went down a rabbit hole this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went through the same dilemma.
Previously, we've always used Evoc bags. They work great. They're kind of the tried and true, like you said.
Yeah.
Like bike's going to be good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You buy pool noodles, but it's like you maybe don't even need them really.
Yeah.
Like,
you buy like 2 pool noodles. That's just kind of for like added protection, just in case you get an angry airport worker. But they're good. No issues. The problem is it is really hard to get an Evoc bag and an enduro bike under 50 pounds. It's basically impossible.
Basically.
So you're either pulling parts off, like derailleur's easy. If you have wireless parts like dropper, derailleur, that's easy. Pedals, chain, rotors, just pull off. So you pull all that stuff off and you can usually get under 50 pounds. Or you travel without tires and you get tires where you're going.
Yeah.
Or you gotta hold the bag when the attendant's
dude,
laying it.
I couldn't do that one time this trip.
They're onto
They caught
trick.
me once. Yeah.
Really?
They're onto it.
Yeah, like
and then
hold the bag up with your leg or your hand while they're weighing it.
Every other country, they like take it, put it on a conveyor belt, and move it on the conveyor belt, and then it weighs.
Yeah.
And then it goes off.
They figured it out.
They figured it out, man.
People are doing it.
Yep. So, so there's 2 other kind of options we've been looking at. One we bought last year. It's called the Bike Box. Squirt is importing them into the US. So you can go to squirt.com, look at the Bike Box, pick that thing up. It's not super cheap. However, it's like super light. You can get an enduro bike in there with your helmet and knee pads at under 50 pounds.
Yeah,
However,
it's made from like a Coroplast type of plastic material.
Yeah, it's basically a big plastic box. It doesn't last absolutely forever, but for the normal person who takes 1 or 2 trips a year, it'll last you for 5 years.
Yeah.
But it does come with some wheels that are kind of so-so. Little James?
So.
Oh, yeah, the ones you like strap on. Yeah.
But it's
also huge.
It's a pain to travel with.
It's massive.
It's massive, and it's a pain to travel with. Like, if you have, like, I was on this Tasmania, New Zealand trip. There's times I was walking a quarter mile from the shuttle drop-off to dropping my bags.
Oh.
Yeah.
And one time I took 2 breaks.
Yeah.
I was dying.
Because you had...
and I had wheels and stuff, and I was dying. Like, I had duffels and backpacks. I changed my whole travel. So I would spend $250 on a bag that day if I needed, if I knew it was going to work better. But
I've done it with the Evoc bag before, and my buddies had the 3rd wheel where you could just lay it down.
That's really nice.
Yeah. I had the Evoc bag, really heavy bike with all my luggage and everything, going across freaking Oaxaca, and I was over it.
Yeah,
it can be brutal. That's one thing you don't really consider, right?
Yeah. So the Squirt's cool. It works for that. It just isn't the most convenient. And Trevor and I did it to Mexico, and we had to get our own separate like van taxi.
Yeah.
Oh,
our buddy Andres couldn't fit us in his SUV, which was like super shitty, super bad. My bad. Because the 2 boxes and 2 of us wouldn't fit in his SUV,
which is it shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I mean, those are basically the size of like a new bike box.
Correct.
Right. They're huge.
So there are other options, still not quite as light as the Evoc. However, I'll tell you how to save money in it. The Orucase travel bike bag.
Mm-hmm.
You have to disassemble your bike a little bit more. You take the fork off in addition to the wheels and move the bars. But it still weighs roughly about the same as the Evoc. Maybe it's a touch lighter. So Jared and I were still removing some parts and putting them in check bag. However, it's so small, it fits in the trunk of basically any Uber.
Yep.
So therefore, I took 4 or 5 Ubers on this trip that I went on. Every single time I paid for the lowest Uber rate, $20, $30, instead of getting an Uber XL, paying $35, $45. So every single time I Ubered, I saved $20.
Yeah.
Over the 5 times, I paid enough to check that bag on all my flights And I think therefore it was basically a wash.
Yeah.
It's really small to travel with. You can get in any Uber. It makes it super convenient. Is you do need to make sure you're packing the bike correctly in there.
Yeah.
So you need like some good foam, like a pool noodle or something. But I enjoyed how small it was. It made a huge difference to travel around, especially if you're going to go to Europe where everything is small.
Yeah. Even
Cars
compared to the Evoc bag.
Yeah.
The regular Evoc
Oh,
bag.
it's so small.
It's way smaller.
Cars, elevators, they're so small.
Oh, yeah, true. And we fit 2 of them and all of our luggage in the back of that crossover and Paige's. And we had the seat. We could have had the seats almost all the way up, right? But we had one down.
Yeah, we had a mid-size SUV with 3 people, 2 bike bags, and 3 people's worth of luggage.
Yeah. That wouldn't work otherwise.
No Evoc bag.
No.
Like, no. But the Orucase, like, perfectly stacked in the trunk, like, flat, like, slid in like a puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, if you're using an Evoc bag and traveling, you kind of need a truck.
You kind of do.
Or a van.
Or a
yeah.
big
Because
van.
when we've done it, like, U.S. trips, we get a minivan, and it works great.
Yeah.
But... Or if you have a truck, right? But
sometimes a
Orucase
minivan's
is nice.
cheaper to rent if you're renting a car, but the cheapest is obviously a car.
Yeah.
Like a small car. And with these Orucase travel bags, slip right in the trunk.
You could fit them like just a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. You could probably fit in like the trunk of a Camry, honestly.
I think I got picked up in like a car, fit right in. I got picked up in like this teeny Ford I've never seen in the States. It was like microscopic SUV.
Yeah.
And the dude looks at me and I was like, let's try. Fit right in.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Do you even have to move a seat down on this?
There you go.
Fit right in.
Orucase.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, you do have to package it a little more.
And it still ends up being over 50 pounds. However, if you're Ubering or you're getting a rental car, you can save money on the cheaper rental car.
True.
And then pay for your baggage fee.
Yeah, unless you have a light bike, or if it's like super electronic like ours, we were able to like we were taking off our dropper posts. Like I took off my cassette rotors, pretty much anything that like you said, chain pedals, all that stuff was in a separate bag checked. And I think on the way back, I did leave a tire back, right? But I was under 50.
Yeah,
and like you said, you can travel without tires, put them on, put tires, like brand new tires in your separate bag, mount them when you get there.
Yeah, tires should actually be able to go through like a carry-on as well. That's the problem. Most bike parts can't really go on as a carry-on through TSA. They'll trip.
True.
Yeah.
Tires though, for sure.
Tires can though.
Yeah.
If you got room.
Yeah. So they're man, it's a puzzle piece and a rabbit hole to go down.
It is.
Sorry, we don't have like a clear.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, it's like
pick your solution.
Either a durable case, a light case, or I don't know.
A
small case.
Like pick one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And if you're worried about like an Evoc bag or something like that being too pricey, like you can always just get like a good bike box. It's like the bare minimum.
Yeah, some people do that, right?
Not really reusable.
Pros don't travel with Evoc bags.
They travel with bike boxes.
They travel with bike boxes.
Yeah.
However, they're probably a little less worried about this stuff getting scratched than everyone else.
Yeah.
But if you look at the way Pro travels, Nico just posted a photo. Every time he goes to somewhere, he posts a photo.
Specialized
and
bike
it's
box.
it's like Rick versus United
Yeah.
every time. And he's got like 6 bike boxes at the check line, and I'm sure they probably see him walking up and they go, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And he either gets away with it, and they're like, "Yep, cool," or they're gonna hound him. But
for the record, we also didn't get charged at all.
Just a normal check bag fee.
Normal
every
check
single
bag
time,
fee every single time, and
Yep.
on my return flights, I don't even think I paid.
So did it matter if it was over 50?
Well,
yes,
but they also they go by kilograms when we were coming back.
Yeah.
And it was like 50. It was like 27 or 28 kilograms or something like that. Was
25 kilo or something like that, which ended up being like 55 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up being unclear anyways. But so that was cool.
There you go. And you think it's because it didn't look like a bike bag?
I don't.
That's part of it.
I don't know.
Jeff got away with a little cheeky one, but we're gonna hold that one close to our chest for now.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys brought them, but on Jeff's on the side of the bag it says therapy equipment.
Yeah.
Ours have that,
which isn't necessarily a lie.
No, it's absolutely
bikes
true.
are therapy. It's my therapy.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
I didn't have the balls to do it, but Jeff did.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Same.